Welcome back everyone, and what a week it has been in BitCraft Online. The wipe has happened, the new world is open, and the community has been absolutely going at it since day one. Now, before we dive in, I want to take a moment to appreciate just how much has changed in a very short time. On February 25th, the day of the wipe, there were about 333 players online. The very next day, when the new world opened its doors, the number jumped to 2,224 players. And by Sunday, March 1st, we hit a peak of 2,783 players. That is nearly 7 times more people playing this game than just 1 week ago, and I think it says everything about how excited the community is for a fresh start. So in this video, I'm going to take you through a full week 1 snapshot of the new world, the player numbers, settlements, empires, regions, everything we have data on right now. Think of this as our baseline or our benchmark, because we are going to be coming back to these numbers in the weeks ahead to see how the world is evolving. Welcome to your BitCraft Online Week 1 review. So let's start with the numbers that got me excited to make this video in the first place. The online player numbers. Just a quick disclaimer, all of the data you're going to see in this video comes from bitjita.com, a fantastic community-built website that tracks all kinds of BitCraft statistics. If you haven't checked it out just yet, I highly recommend you do. It is a brilliant resource and a huge credit to whoever built it. I will leave a link to it in the description below. So in the week before the wipe, from February 18 to 25th, BitCraft was averaging around 356 players per day. A small but a dedicated community, keeping the lights on. The peak that entire week was 407 players on February 21st. Keep that number in mind. Then the wipe happened, and on February 26, the new world opened its doors. The same day, 2,224 players logged in. That is a 6.7 jump just overnight. From there, the numbers kept climbing through the first weekend. Saturday 28 brought 2,683 players, and then Sunday, March 1st, hit our week 1 peak of 2,783 players online. The first full weekend after the wipe was clearly when the whole community showed up and got stuck in. Now, since Monday, we have seen a natural settling. As of today, March 4th, which is as far as our data goes right now, we are sitting at 2,284 players. That is about 18% below the Sunday peak, which is honestly completely normal post-launch behavior. The more important number is this: we are still more than 6 times higher than we were week before the wipe. The floor has risen dramatically, and that is a very healthy sign for the game going forward. The big question I will be watching closely is whether we hold above 2,000 players through week 2. If we do, that tells us the wipe did not just create a temporary spike, it genuinely brought people back to stay. And keep in mind, it is not just returning players driving these numbers. BitCraft recently cut its base price in half, and on top of that, there is currently a 50% sale running, which means that you can pick up the game for just about $7.99. So some of those fresh faces out there are brand new to the game entirely. And honestly, there has never been a better time to jump in. Now let's talk about the world itself and the people who are building it. In just 1 week, 516 settlements have been established across 9 regions. That is a lot of claimed territory for 7 days of a fresh world. And it gives us a really clear picture of where things are standing right now. Let's start with the tiers, because this tells the story of how early we really are. Almost 2/3 of all settlements, 64%, are still sitting at Tier 2. Tier 3 accounts for about 21%, Tier 1 is at just under 10%, and Tier 4 is 4%. And then, at the very top is the absolute elite, Tier 5. Only 5 settlements of all 516 have made it there in 1 week. That is 1% of all settlements. Now, keep that in mind, Tier 5 is the highest tier we have right now, but it is not the ceiling. Settlements can eventually tier all the way up to tier 10. So even our most advanced settlements right now are still only halfway there. The race to the top is very much still on. So who are those 5 settlements? Give it up to Zeltrasan Nexus in R9, Tortuga Prime and Burnout Bay both in R8, UMB Concordia in R14 and Freeport in R12. 5 settlements, 4 regions, and I have a feeling we are going to be hearing a lot more about them all in the weeks coming ahead. Now let's talk about the treasury, the wealth of the world. Across 516 settlements, the total treasury sits at just 2.1 million hex. The wealthiest settlement on the entire map right now is Moonlight Harbor in R14, sitting at an impressive 120k hex. And they're not just even tier 5 yet. So now keep in mind that the treasury hex can be withdrawn and spent, so this number does not necessarily tell us how rich a settlement is in its absolute terms. What it does tell us is how much crafting is happening there, because the game awards the settlement with hex for every craft that is happening there. So the top settlements on this list, those are the ones with the strongest communities who are doing the most crafting in the game right now. The first interesting number that caught my eye was that 139 settlements, that's 27% of all claims, have got 0 treasury. That means that there are about 140 claims set up as a land grab. So basically players are claiming land around mines or maybe their dream locations for their cozy little claims they want to set up later in the game. An interesting number, 139 settlements. Now let's zoom out a little bit and have a look where all of this activity is happening, because not all regions are created equal. 9 regions have been settled so far, and the spread is really fascinating. Let me walk you through the ones that stood out the most of the data. The busiest region by far is R8, home to 99 settlements with a total treasury of 438 hex. If you are looking for where the action is, R8 is your answer. It is the most populated region on the map. But here is where things are getting interesting. R12 has 8 fewer settlements than R8, 91 to be exact. And yes, the total treasury is actually higher at 442 hex. That means R12 settlements are on average generating more wealth per settlement than anywhere else on the server. Fewer players, but more output. Quality over quantity. And then there is region 19, which is quietly the most advanced region on the map. Only 39 settlements, 6th place by population, but it has the highest average tier of any other region, 2.44. The players who chose R19 are ahead of the curve, and I know that the first tiers are easier to get, but let's keep an eye on that region. On the other end of the spectrum, R17 is the only region in the entire dataset with no tier 4 or tier 5 settlements at all. 38 settlements, a total treasury of 116k hex, and the ceiling so far is tier 3. Whether that is down to the region itself or just the player density, it is clearly lagging behind its neighbors. And finally, the most isolated region of all, region 13. Just 13 settlements and the lowest treasury of all, 23k hex, and an average tier exactly 2.0. It is practically untouched. For anyone looking for a space to build without competition, R13 might just be calling your name. Alright, let's talk politics, because alongside all of the settlements, 84 empires have been formed in week 1. 84 groups of players planting their flags and saying, "This is ours." But here's the thing, the empire game has just barely started. 79 out of 84 empires are still sitting at a single tower. The political map of this world is essentially a blank slate right now, and whoever moves decisively in the coming weeks is going to have a massive head start. Only 5 empires have managed to secure more than 1 tower so far. The Veil, Ember Veil, Gingerism, and the Clockwork Labs have each captured 2 towers. Respectable early moves. But Sitting alone at the top is the Zeltrasen Hivemind, led by Swags, with 3 towers already secured. And if that name sounds familiar, it should, because Zeltrasen Hivemind's capital settlement is Zeltrasen Nexus in Region 9, is the only Tier 5 settlement in the entire region and the 4th richest settlement on the whole map at 74k hex in treasury. This is not a group that stumbled into the first place. This is an organized, active community that clearly came into the new world with a plan, and so far, it is working out just beautifully for them. I think it's fair to say that the Empire meta is in its absolute infancy right now. Week 1 has given us 84 flags in the ground and only 1 early frontrunner. Week 2 is where things are going to get starting very interesting politically. I highly recommend keeping an eye on those who are making moves already now. And here you go, this is your BitCraft Online Week 1 snapshot, and what a world it already is. 7 times more players than a week ago, 516 settlements across 9 regions, 5 communities already flying Tier 5 flag, 84 empires formed, with 1 clear early frontrunner in Zeltrasen Hivemind. And a total of over 2.1 million hex flowing through settlement treasuries after just 7 days. Not a bad fresh start if you ask me. Now remember, this is our benchmark. These are the numbers everything else gets measured against. I will be coming back with a week 4 review to see how dramatically this world has shifted. How many new Tier 5 settlements have emerged, which empires have made their moves, and whether those 139 zero treasury settlements have woken up or been quietly abandoned or just waiting for their turn. And whether our player numbers have held strong. Trust me, you are going to want to see the comparison. Now, I really enjoy making these videos, and if you want to see more, please do subscribe to this channel. This really means a lot to me and keeps me going. In the meantime, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know where is your settlement and which empire are you flying the flag for. I genuinely want to know what corner of this world you have claimed as your own. This is all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching and have fun in the new world. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. Have a good one, and I'll see you in game.